Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to have quiet confidence and be magnetic. And listen, I know that everyone wants to have some sort of magnetic aura that they have about them, but how is it that we actually get there? And I think when we're talking about the girl that we are really intrigued by, that it girl, the one that we like, there's something about her and we want to learn like how she is the way that she is, how is she so magnetic? I really believe she has these qualities about her that have this essence of quiet confidence. It's not this arrogant confidence where she has to be the loudest one in the room. She needs to tell everyone how amazing she is. She demands respect from other people. And she, to me, there's something about her that is actually imperfect, but so intriguing and so magnetizing that I want to be around her more. I want to know about her. I look up to her. There's something about her. And now I think there's a few qualities for sure that can allow you to be more of this quiet, confident woman, magnetizing woman. This is definitely some of the traits that I have learned how to embody in my late 20s. And I want to talk about that, and I want to give you some of my best tips on how you can actually become that woman that is more magnetizing, that is confidently quiet. Because I was really thinking about this, like, what makes it so that I, or let's say somebody that I'm really looking up to, is the one that's really welcoming, is the one who's warm, is the one who's relatable, is the one who's uplifting and curious? Because that's what I actually think that somebody who's very magnetizing is. They're uplifting, they're open, they're curious. Something about their fashion and their makeup and their lifestyle seems like it's so easy and it's so aligned and it just, everything makes sense for them. And what I came to realize is the girl who is magnetizing, the girl who is quietly confident, there is a part of her that is not in survival mode. There is a part of her that resides in her feminine energy. And feminine energy by design is magnetizing. So how do we step into our feminine energy? How do we get out of survival mode? And a lot of my tips are not going to be a physical appearance thing. I think that when you're talking about stepping in your feminine energy, this goes beyond what you can even show on the outside. You can look dolled up, you can speak like you are this feminine woman and still be operating out of survival mode essentially. So I want to talk about some of the things that can help you really step out of survival mode and into that more feminine, magnetizing, quiet confidence era that I personally think you are meant to be in. And if you're wondering why I have my head towel on, because I did not even mention this at the beginning, I'm gonna do my hair as I talk about some of the things that have helped me become this woman. And now I already did my makeup, and I wanna quickly talk about my makeup right now because I am absolutely loving it. Like, I really, like, look at me, I'm glowing right now. And that is actually thanks to Essence Cosmetics, which is sponsoring today's video. So the first thing that I have on my lips is the Extreme Shine Gloss, and the color is Shadow Rose. This is 100% my favorite new lip gloss. I am not joking. I'm not just saying that because I'm working with them. Genuinely, this is the perfect rose color, especially for my skin tone. I love a good pink tone. And sorry if I'm like looking weird in the camera. I'm looking in the viewfinder so I can see myself. This is my new fall color. I swear, I love this. Now they also sent me 3 more of their Extreme Shine lip glosses, which I think are also very, very beautiful. So the first one is Purple Rain. The second one is Gold Dust. And then there's just like a crystal clear gloss, which I think the crystal clear gloss as well is really nice. I've already used this as well, just like going to the gym when I don't really want color or anything like that, but it still makes my lips very, very shiny. I am a gloss girl till the end of day. So these are definitely going to be a staple in my bag this fall. You guys know, I love a good mascara, okay? So it takes a lot for a company to really put me on to a new mascara, and I'm not gonna lie, the lashes are lashing. The lashes are lashing. So the mascara that I'm using is Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. They also sent me one in waterproof. I'm not wearing the waterproof one right now because I don't feel like I need to have it on for very long, so I'm just filming a few things today. If you guys have not been able to tell the whole entire video already, my skin is glowing, like my cheek, underneath my eyebrow here, even like my Cupid's bow here. What I did is I put on their Pure Nude Sun Lighter, and I love this. Like, honestly, like the gold, I don't usually use a gold highlighter, but I think I just came to the other side. Usually I've been wearing pink throughout the summer, but honestly, I think it goes very well with my skin tone. Now I also use their lash and brow gel. If you guys know me, my eyebrows are very curly, so I need a good gel. And I really enjoy this brow gel because it doesn't feel like your eyebrows are really like stuck together or very jelly. It's very, very light and it still gives you that eyebrow like lamination look. So listen, the reason why I think that this company is so great is because not only are they cruelty free, but they are so inexpensive. All of their products are under $15 and majority of them are under $10. Putting on the mascara, putting on the gel, putting on the highlighter and the lip gloss give me the exact same feeling as any of my products that are actually very expensive. If you want to try any of the products that I have on my face, then I will have all of the products that I mentioned in my description, and you can find all of Essence cosmetic products at Shoppers Drug Mart. Thank you so much, Essence, for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back into the tips. Okay, so we need to think about for a second when I was saying like the girl who I think is really magnetic, she's open, she's curious, she's welcoming, she's probably not doing too much, you know, like she's not like needing to tell people how to treat her, to like her. She's not demanding respect from people. Like it's just like a natural thing. And so what is the opposite of somebody who is basically calm? Somebody who is stressed. Like thinking about this, when you are a stressed out individual, what are your actions? You're usually like chasing men, trying to explain yourself to people, trying to get people to see your worth. Maybe you're overthinking, you're in scarcity. And when you're in that energy, that bleeds out into your action. So when you're stressed and when you're in survival mode, it can affect how you show up in relationships. So maybe you're, you know, causing a lot of fights, or maybe you have a lot of insecurities, or maybe again, like you're trying to demand that respect from people instead of just knowing people are gonna show up and treat you right because you are somebody to be treated right. Or maybe that even shows up in how you dress, or like even how you do your makeup, because you're trying to be liked by everyone. And when you're trying to be liked by everyone, what ends up happening is like you see what everyone else is doing and you jump on every single trend. You try and do your makeup like everyone, you try and change your body like whatever the beauty standards like all that kind of stuff. And you know, I'm saying this out of actual experience. I used to do that all the time. And this is what I'm also gonna say. It's fine to get influenced by people. It's fine to be like, oh my God, she has cool makeup. Like I wanna try that. Like obviously that's totally fine. But when things don't necessarily fit your vibe, or you know, you're really uncomfortable in your own body or your style or your fashion sense, you might want to ask yourself like, okay, am I doing this for myself or am I doing this for other people? And if I'm doing this for other people, then most likely maybe this is a result of me being in survival mode, right? Like why do I feel like I have to change myself and look a certain way in order to be liked? By the way, for all of my sections of my hair, I'm gonna be putting in my leave-in conditioner by Curls and my mousse by Camille Rose. I'll have it linked down below as well. And this is the thing, like the girl who is magnetic, the girl who has confidence, she does not need to beg someone to like her. She doesn't need to change and morph herself into this person that is not her, because she knows inherently who she is worthy, and she goes for what she wants. And also thinking about this, like when you're stressed, you're not really able to be in the present moment. And when you're not able to be in the present moment, you're not able to really connect with people. You're not able to get curious. You're not able to listen, right? When somebody is listening, when somebody's curious about you, they're magnetizing. It's giving off quiet confidence. It's giving off, I want to be around you energy. But when you are in survival mode and you're always overthinking and hyper focused on everything else, you're out of the present. So it's no wonder that you're not really magnetizing to people, right? You're so in your head and you're trying to survive. But when you're in high alert, it's very, very hard for you to be magnetizing. And I think, you know, you could be somebody who's, let's say, in very high alert or very much in your survival mode and still be like getting people's attention. But what type of attention are you getting? And is that attention lasting, right? So we can even think about it in terms of, okay, girls who like show a lot of their body on social media or in real life and they're constantly getting things done, whatever. I'm not bagging on these girls. Please don't think that I am, especially if you do this. Like I'm just giving an example. And I used to do more of this when I was younger too. But what type of attention is that going to attract? You're going to attract people, right? But maybe you're going to just attract men who only like you for your body or only like you for your looks, but then that's really it, and then they leave. It's like you are magnetizing, but you're not really able to keep anything because there's nothing really there to keep when you show all of your cards, when you show everyone everything, and when you give everyone everything because you think that that's what you need to do in order to keep people around you and to love you and to be with you for the rest of your life. Or we can do another example. When you're talking to men, okay, it is kind of good to not always like tell them everything about you all at once and just like, it's not even about trauma dumping anything to them, but just like, you know, showing all your cards. And this doesn't need to be a thing where you're playing with men. But in general, when you are somebody who is quietly confident and just magnetizing in their feminine energy, there's no incessant need for you to want to tell him everything about you so that he can like you, right? Because you know that you're likable and you're in the present moment and you're calm and there's no urgency. And what happens when you're residing in that feminine energy, that makes him want to continue to pursue you because there's something to pursue, because you haven't let all your cards out. You haven't told him absolutely everything about everything. You know, you're not always available all the time. You didn't share everything on social media. You didn't whatever, you know, again, it depends on who we're talking about and who we're talking to, all that kind of stuff. But like, that's what makes somebody very magnetizing is when, okay, well, maybe I don't know everything about you and you're really calm and you're making me kind of like want to come closer to you. But when I know everything about you and you are making it very, very known that you're there, okay, that's cool for a second, but then like, there's not much else. And listen, we're not trying to just be quietly confident and magnetizing so that men can like us or that people can like us, okay? This is obviously more about being internally happy and peaceful with yourself and not being so stressed all of the time. But as a result of being in your feminine energy, essentially, because that's what it is, you will see people start to become magnetized to you. So there's some things that I have done in my 20s to move myself out of survival mode and more into that feminine energy. And this can definitely translate, like all of the things that I did, it really translated into every area of my life, right? The results that I was having with my health and my wellness, the results that I was having in my friendships, in my romantic partnerships, in my career and my money, all of this stuff. It's just so beautiful how this can be translated into so many areas of your life. But I want to talk about some of the things that I did. But the most important thing is to learn how to lower stress in your life. So thinking about the areas of your life right now that are really, really big, that are really, really stressing you out. This is not to, you know, like I'm not gonna be like, oh, you just get rid of the people that are in your life that are stressing you out, or like your job, like quit your job and don't do anything. Obviously not. Like there's gonna be things that we have to learn how to be resilient with, right? There's gonna be phases of our life where maybe we have to work more than we really want to, or we live in environments where maybe the parents are a little bit toxic or the household, whatever. Like I have been through all of that for sure. So it's like, okay, what areas of my life are stressing me out the most? Maybe it's school, maybe it's my home environment, maybe it's my friendships, whatever. And how can I help myself move past this stressful environment or situation so that I don't take on so much of this stress to the point where now I'm no longer magnetizing. Now I'm no longer confident, and whether people think I'm confident or not, like genuinely, so that you can be in more of a peace and state of mind. And you can do this through different healing practices, right? So let's say for me, when I was in a really unhealthy environment through college, living with my mom and her addictions and everything, I had to still go to work. I had to still try and make money and do all these things. So what I did was every single morning I would wake up and I would do gratitude lists for the things that I was grateful for in my life, because that really helped me not be so much in scarcity and in my head and overthinking about everything and stressing about everything. And not only did that gratitude list allow me to really calm my nervous system, but I was able to take aligned and clear action towards my goals and towards the things that were going to get me out of that situation, which actually did. So getting up and taking care of myself and going to the gym and making sure that my health was good, or getting up and going to work and not calling things off, or deciding to not go party and instead read a book or go to a cafe and work on a side hustle or whatever. Those are the things that I started to do based off of a mindset that was not in scarcity and instead in abundance, right? Because when you're in gratitude, when you are grateful for all the things that you have, you essentially are telling yourself, or signaling to yourself and your nervous system and your inner child that I'm safe, I'm good, I have everything that I need, and I don't need to continue to look elsewhere. Now, another thing that can definitely help you lower stress is setting boundaries, right? So there's just gonna be things that are gonna be stressful in your life, but if you can kind of move away from these things, you will start to see the reflection in your actions and then in your life be more of what you want instead of what you don't want. So, you know, I realized when I was in college that going out and partying, going to clubs and spending my time around people who just like only wanted to party, it was actually creating a lot of stress in my life. And so I stopped doing it. I started replacing my weekends partying with spending time at the library or the cafe. Again, like at that point, I actually had a blog, like a little website, and it was called The Globe Seekers, actually, which is the name of my podcast. I made that name years and years and years ago. It's so insane, which, by the way, I do have a podcast if you didn't know. If you want more content from me, I'll have it linked below. It's on YouTube, and you can find it like Spotify, Apple, wherever. And when you're setting boundaries and you're saying no to things that do not serve you anymore, you're able to then have a clearer mind. You're able to then align yourself with people who are more on your level or more on that same phase of life as you. And when you're around better people, when you're focusing on more of the positive things, you're no longer in this energy of having to chase or explain to people. You can be more in the present because you're not so stressed out. And even thinking back to this whole chasing thing, let's say with men, if you are like not really stressed out and you have a lot of confidence within yourself, let's say somebody, like a guy's pulling away from you, you won't feel such an urge to triple text him and explain to him how he's hurting you and, you know, like try to get him to see your worth and all that kind of stuff because you're in the calm and you're in the present. But if you're in survival mode and you're stressed, you're gonna do behaviors in the moment that you think might keep you safe, but actually you realize, you know, when you send that message or when you burst out into anger or whatever, it's probably not the best response, but you did that because you were so triggered. So the more you can have a life where you're not as stressed, you will find when stressful things do come up, let's say a guy like pulls away or he's like acting weird, you're gonna be able to stand within your confidence and in your own self and in the present and be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna explain to him how he's hurting me because he already knows what he's doing. I don't need to explain my worth to anyone, genuinely. Like, why would I need to do that? Why would I even want to be with somebody who I have to explain my worth and my value to? It doesn't even make sense. And instead, maybe what you'll do is you'll think more about, okay, well, what about this guy? Maybe did I miss? Was there any red flags? Was there, you know, something that I missed? Or maybe it wasn't, and that's fine. And then you go and you put your focus on something else instead of keeping the focus on him. Like, how is somebody who's very magnetizing and confident doing that? That's not what they do. They put their focus on themselves and somebody else who is much more worthy of their time. There's obviously other things that you can do to lower your stress depending on what you're stressed about. So like working on your beliefs that you hold around whatever it is that you're stressed about, like men, finances, your self-worth, all that kind of stuff. You can do guided meditations every morning and night if you find that you're waking up and you're constantly like, your thoughts are racing and you're in your head all the time and you're taking these not really aligned actions, which are not leading you to the results that you're looking for in your life, which then you are kind of also coming across as not somebody who is confident or magnetizing, can definitely really, really help you. And now obviously you can go to therapy and you can talk to friends and you can, you know, work through your stuff. But at the core of this all, reducing stress is really healing, right? Going on that healing journey. So instead of reacting to everything, you're sitting and you're thinking and you're responding with grace. You're responding with confidence in a place of, I'm gonna focus on myself and heal some of the things that might be making me so reactionary instead of trying to chase or trying to convince other people why they should like me, why they should essentially make me feel safe, right? Because that's really what we want. When we want somebody to really like us and show up for us, or for them to really be magnetized to us, it's because we want something desperately. And what we want is we want to feel safe and we want to feel love and we want to feel abundance. But you know, you kind of have to be that change before you see that reflected in your life, right? So you need to become that abundant person, that healed person, that confident, stable, present, happy person. And what you will find is you'll start to attract more people on that level. On top of that, you will be magnetizing, and then you get to choose who you want to allow in to give you that extra love, right? If we're thinking about men, bringing it back to relationships should really be, and I know some guys don't want to be hearing all this, but like, whatever. Relationships should really just be the thing that adds to our life, not the thing that completes us entirely. And the way that you're able to kind of let your relationship be that like added bonus, that cherry on top, is to be present and happy with your own life. But if you're constantly running away from yourself, if you're constantly in survival mode, then yeah, no, you don't enjoy your life. And you're looking for everyone else to make you feel better. It's no wonder. And I get it. I used to be like that. I used to literally only be happy when my man would be messaging me, okay? And if he didn't, oh God, my whole goddamn day would be off. Like, girl, you cannot live your life like that. You cannot. You should learn how to be happy whether the man is messaging you or not. I get it though. It's hard, but like, trust me, you can get there also. But healing your nervous system and doing inner child healing and all that deep work can really, really help you feel at ease with your own life and your own self. You have to learn how to create safety within yourself, and people will also pick up on that same energy. Like when people are around me, for sure, like because I've done so much of this work, it's a natural thing for them to feel at ease around me because I'm at ease with myself. Now, if you're interested in like inner child discovery and learning how to speak to your inner child, and if you want like shadow prompts and things like that, I do have a inner child discovery journal prompt guide, which I will have down below if you're interested. Another huge thing that you're going to need to do when it comes to getting out of survival mode, stepping more in your feminine energy, and essentially becoming more magnetizing and confident is to stop rejecting and self-hating. The person that you know who is confident and magnetizing, just amazing, and you look up to them and maybe you even think that they're in their feminine energy, are they criticizing themselves? No. But guess what? Are they also criticizing themselves in the sense of like, if they're not perfect, they're criticizing themselves? Probably not. Listen, I know that I am imperfect and I accept myself anyways. And I personally think that is one of the best qualities about me. And I know that because when I am expressing that to other people, or if I like make mistakes and then I like to talk about the fact that like I made a mistake, or, you know, my friends can notice that within me, they're like, how I want that. Like it's so, you know, I look up to that. And again, this is not about always needing other people to like you and like want to be you or whatever. But I mean, it is such an amazing, and honestly, it releases you of these shackles that you've been put in all of your life when you just accept that you're not going to be perfect. And for you to stop for once waking up in the morning, picking apart every single possible thing about you. Like, aren't you tired? Are you genuinely tired of waking up and focusing on every possible negative thing about yourself, about others, about your life, whatever? For me personally, that's not very magnetizing. When you hear somebody constantly complaining and gossiping and da-da-da-da, and trust me, I go to a lot of events and I hear, you always know that person that's just constantly so goddamn negative. And listen, I'm not no saint, okay? I be doing a little good shit talk with my friends. Like, there's a time and a place, right? But like, oh my God, those people are not magnetizing. For me personally, I do not want to be around people like that. It's not, I don't think that it's, for me personally, because I know it's bleeding insecurity. It's bleeding, okay, well, I want to be negative because I don't feel good about myself. And, you know, compassion to people who are like that. And I used to be like that too, so compassion. But like, I don't want to be around somebody who's like that. Don't you want to be around somebody who's positive? Well, you need to start being positive to yourself, my love. Now, how do you stop judging and criticizing yourself? Well, I think the best thing that you can do is shadow work. And shadow work is really learning the parts of you that you've learned how to hate and reject and deny, and why you reject and hate and deny these parts of you, and how to accept these parts of you again so that you can live a life of not being such a criticizing little bitch, okay? Sorry for my language. But, so, okay, this is two things that I'll say. Well, I guess maybe three. But one is I did recently just make a podcast episode about this, so definitely go check it out. I'll have it linked down below, podcast episode 92, I believe, about your shadow self and how to stop judging and criticizing yourself and others. And also I have an episode on jealousy too, which is like a part 1 of that podcast episode. So bringing it back to the inner child discovery journal prompt guide, those have specific journal prompts for insecurities and getting deep into the why, like where you pick these things up and how can you talk to yourself in a more loving way. There's like a practice for you to like speak loving words to your inner child. Another thing that you can learn how to do is parts work, and I'm not gonna get into it in this video, but you can get the book No Bad Parts by Richard Schwartz, and essentially it's just that book teaches you that you have different parts of you, your inner child essentially, that might do self-sabotaging behaviors to make you feel safe. So let's say you find yourself always texting your ex or going back to your ex. Well, there's a part of you that believes that doing that is gonna keep you safe in some way. So, you know, maybe your inner child just feels like, oh my God, I'm not lovable and I'm not gonna be able to find somebody who actually treats me right. So instead I'm just gonna message my ex. Or maybe you feel so lonely and you don't know how to deal with the feeling of loneliness, so you go back to what you've known, which is also, you know, not healthy for you, but you do it anyways. But the problem with this is you need to understand why you do these things, like deeply why you do these things, and doing parts work can help you with that. But also learning how to not hate yourself for doing these things is really important, right? And this brings it back to being nice to yourself, right? And being loving to yourself. You need to understand why you do certain behaviors so that you can better love yourself through that process. And that's why I'm able to accept myself and love myself and know that I have flaws and be okay with it. Not to say that I have to always like do self-sabotaging behaviors and be okay with that. Obviously, I don't even do these behaviors anymore because I learned the root and I was able to heal my inner child that thought that she needed to do those things. But at the end of the day, you know, like when I mess up or genuinely just do things that are not perfect, I'm able to have this loving voice to be able to speak kind words within me, and so that I can actually self-correct the next time. What we do is we get mad at ourselves, we hate ourselves, we criticize ourselves more and more and more, and then that creates more stress within ourselves. And if we're thinking back to being somebody who's confident, somebody who makes the right decisions, somebody who's magnetizing, they are not in that state. And when I mean they are not in that state, I don't mean they're perfect. Nobody is perfect. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna finish this side of my hair because y'all know I do things way too slow because I talk too much. And then I'm gonna go under my hooded dryer, and then I'm gonna come back and talk about the rest of the tips because I have a few more that I think are really important. We are back and the hair is a lion's mane. It's giving lion's mane as always. Oh, it looks really great. Love this, love this. By the way, if you have curly hair, get a hooded dryer. It'll change your life. Like honestly, it'll change your life. Okay, we need to talk about a few more things though. Now, another thing that I think that somebody who's very magnetizing, quiet, confident in her feminine energy, very much so attracting, not chasing, is that she has tunnel vision for her own life. And what I really mean by that is the only competition is her. The only competition is you, my friend. We start to think that there is competition everywhere and we have to compete with everyone and we have to just compare and criticize and judge and be jealous and all of these things. When you're in that survival mode, you're not going to be attracting, you're not going to be magnetizing. Why? Because you're going to be chasing. It's either you have your spotlight out here on everyone else, or you have the spotlight on yourself. This is giving you need to be more main character energy. Not from this place that you're this narcissist and all you care about is yourself, but when you are focused and you have tunnel vision on your life and your goals, and you know, you're working on yourself, you're healing, you have a purpose in life, you're trying to find your purpose or passion even if you don't have one, you're becoming grateful for the things that you have right now in your life, you genuinely glow different. You are a magnet. And it's not hard to think about this. Like when you see somebody who's really successful and who has created a lot of, I don't know, wealth or just success in their life, you want to know how and why, and you most likely want to be them, unless you have limiting beliefs that make you believe that you can't, so then you try and bring them down, which is obviously not good. And another thing, when you are working towards a goal in your life, something actually happens in your brain. And what happens in your brain is you release dopamine. You release dopamine every time you are signaling to yourself and you can actually see yourself taking one step up the ladder towards maybe your dream life, or you've hit some certain goal and you've actually rewarded yourself or whatever. Like there's this positive reinforcement, there's this you achieving certain things in your life that actually release dopamine. And dopamine is the thing that makes you feel really happy. And when you're happy within your life, you aren't really having this spotlight on everyone else. You're not really worried. You're not in that survival. And when you're not in that survival, you're more of a magnet. You radiate this confidence that people don't necessarily even know. They can't even put their finger on it. Immerse yourself in your own life, your own goals. Have goals for yourself if you do not have them. I just recently made a video on this chapter is called Tunnel Vision. So I definitely suggest go watch that if you need more motivation of like, you know, staying focused and having goals and taking action towards your dream life. But when you wake up every day and you have something to work on, you have hobbies, you have projects, you have something essentially bigger than you, it tends to reduce your anxiety because you have a focus and you're working towards something. And when you're releasing dopamine, there's no anxiety. You don't feel anxiety because you have a focus. This is not to mean that you're not gonna be sad sometimes, or you're not gonna experience anxiety, you're not gonna feel lost at some times in your life, but the best thing that we can do when especially things are going wrong in our lives, but even when things are going great, is to have something that we're holding on to, that we're working towards, that are essentially bigger than ourselves. And the last thing that I want to talk about is to do more with beauty and what you wear and things like that, because we can't deny that being a magnetizing person, for sure, there is that essence of like a physical something, right, that kind of draws you in. And I really find, and there's many definitions of this, but this is what I think. Like when I'm really magnetized by someone's beauty, let's say if we're gonna talk about that, there's something that it's not about, oh, they're so natural, they're not wearing any makeup, but their skincare, their makeup, their hair, their fashion, all just really accentuates what they already have, really just brings out their already natural beauty. And again, I wanna be careful because you can wear whatever you want, okay? Whatever you feel good in, right? You can put a lot of makeup on or not. You can do your hair naturally or not naturally. Do whatever you want. But this is my experience. The more that I've gotten better at embracing more of my natural beauty and using makeup as a way to really enhance those parts of me, and learning how to do my hair the way that naturally it wants to be, I find that I am the most radiant that way. And it's taken me a long time to get there, right? It's taken me a long time to learn how to do my eyeliner for the shape of my eyes. I'm not wearing eyeliner right now, but you know, at one point I was doing really thick eyeliner and it just like wasn't making my eyes look like beautiful cat eyes the way that I actually can get them, because I wasn't doing the eyeliner the way that it needs to go for my eye shape. I was doing it because I was following somebody else's eye shape that had nothing to do with my eye shape. Again, not the biggest deal, but once I really got it, I was like, oh damn, like that looks, not only does it look flawless, but it looks so effortless. And you know, even my hair, my natural hair, I used to straighten my hair. I used to damage my hair all the time. I used to wear extensions. I used to wear all these hair pieces and stuff. Sometimes I still do a slick back ponytail with my hair piece in, which I think is beautiful. And I spent a lot of money on that hair piece, so it looks very high quality, which, you know, even when we're talking about adding certain fake things in, like let's make sure that it looks well and looks great. Even the makeup that I'm wearing, well, not even wearing that much makeup, but you know, like making sure that your highlighter or your lip color, it kind of just works, right? Or getting to know your body style, getting to know what pieces of clothing really look good on you, or different cuts. I actually made a video on something, I don't even remember what the title is, but something to do with becoming her when it comes to finding your style and, you know, having confidence within your own like clothing. And so if you want that video, I will have it linked down below as well. But the way that I was able to get to where I'm at with my own beauty routines and really do what works for me is realizing that not every single beauty trend, every single look that I see online needs to be for me. I don't need to morph myself into looking like a Kardashian just so that people can think that I'm beautiful, or maybe go as far as love me or like me, right? This is not to say that I can't maybe use some of their influence or use somebody's influence, but what I used to do was genuinely just rid all of me to try and morph myself to look like somebody completely different than me. Like, not even the same skin color, not even the same hair texture, not even the same face shape, not even the same body type. And the more I honestly stopped chasing external validation and realized that I can't possibly be everyone to everything, and then on top of that, really learned how to work with my own features, my eyes, my skin, what looks good on me, what maybe doesn't look the best and doesn't really bring out all of my features. Doesn't mean that I can't wear that stuff. I wear that stuff all the time. I'm not picture perfect, but you know, when I do go out, everything looks so good and put together because I'm really my own person. And even when it comes to my hair, like I had to learn how to do my hair. I had to learn to dress for my body. I had to see what I felt comfortable in. I had to, even when it came to like doing my hair, you know, like there's different hairstyles that I like that I feel more comfortable in. Whatever it is, me wearing my natural hair, no matter how I wear it, in my personal opinion, looks a lot better and more radiant than me burning off my hair and flat ironing it and wearing extensions to make my hair look like somebody else, right? And this is, again, not to say that I can't do it, but you know, when this is the thing that I think as well, when your body is actually like yelling at you, screaming at you to be like, can you please stop doing this because look what you're doing, that's when I like to listen. So personally for me, when I was straightening my hair so much and perming my roots so that they can be straight and not curly, like the other way around, my hair was breaking. My hair literally was like so short, it looked so damaged, it looked so insane, right? So, you know, there's always little signs that your body is kind of telling you like, hey, maybe like let's try something different, or maybe like let's cool off and take care of ourselves a little bit more. Something that's also helped me though when it comes to embracing more of my natural beauty, maybe wearing less makeup because, you know, I'm only using maybe highlighter or lip gloss or, you know, whatever, no matter what I'm doing, I really like to focus on my health and my wellness practices more so than really using all of these things to try and change myself. Because what I found is when I got proper sleep, when I ate 3 balanced meals or however many meals I need in a day that makes me feel energized and full and they're balanced and they have a lot of nutrients and I'm eating from home, that's when my body started to get more into balance. That's where my hair started to grow and flourish. I think personally, the people who are the most magnetizing and even exude some of that quiet confidence, there's this essence of health in a way. And I know it can be difficult. Like, we're not perfect. People, you know, I didn't have the best skin health. I actually have a whole video on that, which you guys can go watch, where I transform my skin health naturally. But this is not to mean that you can't be a magnetizing and beautiful person if you don't have the fullest hair or the clearest skin. It's not even that, but it's just, are you taking care of yourself? Genuinely, are you taking care of yourself? Are you speaking words of love and affirmation into yourself no matter where you're at on your journey? Are you learning how to be in the present moment and getting out of your head and into your body? Are you finally stepping into your worth and setting boundaries and saying no to all of the people or the places or the things that are not serving you anymore, that might be dimming your light or might be triggering you more into this fight or flight survival mode? And like I already said, being somebody who's magnetizing and somebody who exudes quiet confidence, this is really for you. It's really for you to be at peace with yourself. And when you're at peace with yourself, you do become a magnet. It's just a normal, natural thing. People are attracted to health. People are attracted to people who are in peace and who love themselves and who are present in the moment. And when you're also present in the moment and you love yourself and you take care of yourself, you're better able to show up for other people. You're able to be curious. You're able to help. You're able to take care, right? Like when you're in survival mode, like the only thing that you're really worried about is yourself because you're trying to stay alive. But the more times I've found when I healed a lot of my insecurities and started to love myself more, I started to realize that I had more of a capacity to be able to show up better in my friendships, better in my relationships, better with anything, right? I was able to give more of myself because my cup was full, finally. So I hope that you take today's video as a sign to start watering your own tree, your own plant, your own cup, your own whatever it is. I know you can do it, and you'll see how the world starts to respond to you, and you don't have to chase. You don't have to tell other people how to treat you, how to love you, how to like you, how to be magnetized to you. You become the change and watch how the universe responds. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, thank you so much, Essence, for sponsoring today's video. Please, again, go check out the products. They'll be linked in the description and they are available at Shoppers Drug Mart. I promise you, the way that I already this is coming with me everywhere. Like, I don't know what to tell you. This is the thing for me. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.